Welcome to the Next Level VR YouTube channel. Today we're diving into the top 10 PC games of all time that have been converted to VR. These are legendary titles that have shaped gaming history, and now they offer a whole new level of immersion in virtual reality. If you've ever wanted to experience these iconic games from a new perspective, VR takes them to a whole new dimension. Whether you're into shooters, RPGs, survival, or simulations, there's something on this list for you. Make sure to watch until the end, because the last game on this list is an absolute must-play for any VR enthusiast. Let's start with the first game on our list, Doom VR. Doom has always been a franchise that delivers high-speed, brutal action, and this VR adaptation doesn't disappoint. Doom VR throws you right into the chaos of a demon-infested hell, where your mission is simple: destroy everything that moves. Unlike traditional first-person shooters, you don't just mash buttons here, you physically aim, dodge, and teleport around the battlefield. The movement system is a mix of free roam and teleportation, allowing for quick action while keeping motion sickness to a minimum. Gunfights feel incredibly responsive, and every weapon, from the iconic shotgun to the BFG, packs a powerful punch. You can physically reload, grab weapons, and even use brutal melee attacks to tear enemies apart in full VR glory. Haptic feedback in the controllers makes every shot feel weighty, and the sound design completely immerses you in this nightmarish world. Doom VR is available for PC VR and PSVR, with a wired connection required for the best experience. It runs smoothly on high VR settings, with a solid 4.1 out of 5 on Steam and 4.3 on the PlayStation Store. If you're looking for an immersive action game where you feel every explosion and gunshot, Doom VR is the game for you. Moving on to our next title, Skyrim VR, one of the most ambitious VR adaptations of all time. Skyrim was already a massive open-world RPG where players could forge their own destiny, but playing in virtual reality takes immersion to a whole new level. Imagine walking through forests, climbing mountains, and fighting dragons as if you were really there. The VR version allows you to fully interact with the world. You physically swing swords, draw bows, and even cast spells by moving your hands. The weight of the weapons, the recoil of the bows, and the movement of your wrist when casting magic add to the realism. The game supports both free movement and teleportation, making it accessible to both new and experienced VR users. Unlike standard RPGs where dialogue choices feel passive, in VR the personal interactions with NPCs create a deeper level of engagement. The entire world reacts more believably when you're in it. Combat has been completely redesigned for VR, making battles with dragons, bandits, and the undead even more immersive. Skyrim VR works on both PC VR and PSVR, with a wired setup for PlayStation and optional wireless play via mods on PC. Next on our list is Fallout 4 VR, a game that takes one of the most beloved open-world RPGs of all time and transforms it into an immersive, post-apocalyptic experience like never before. If you've ever wanted to truly step into the wasteland, explore the ruins of civilization, and battle against raiders, mutants, and robots with your own two hands, this is the game for you. The VR adaptation brings the entire Fallout 4 world to life, allowing you to move freely, interact with objects, and experience the intensity of combat firsthand. The Pip-Boy interface is now fully interactive, letting you manage inventory, equip weapons, and check your stats with a flick of your wrist. Combat in Fallout 4 VR feels completely reworked. You manually aim and fire weapons, pull out grenades, and even engage in melee combat using physical swings. The iconic BTS targeting system has been redesigned for VR, slowing down time rather than pausing it, allowing for more dynamic and strategic combat. Whether you prefer sniping enemies from a distance, going in with a shotgun, or taking down threats with a baseball bat, every fight feels intense and realistic. Exploration is where Fallout 4 VR truly shines. The game's massive open world is fully explorable in virtual reality. Moving on to a completely different genre, we have the Forest VR, a survival horror experience that puts you in the middle of a terrifying, living world. If you've ever imagined being stranded on an island, forced to fight for survival while being hunted by mysterious creatures, then this game will be your worst nightmare, or your best adventure. The Forest VR follows the same gripping story as the original game. You crash land on a mysterious island filled with dense forests, underground caves, and hidden horrors. Your goal is simple: survive, craft, and uncover the island's dark secrets. Unlike traditional survival games, the Forest VR makes every action feel real. You physically chop down trees, craft weapons, set up shelters, and light fires using motion controls. Every swing of your axe, every arrow you shoot, and every item you pick up feels immersive, making survival feel even more intense. The game features full cooperative multiplayer, allowing you and your friends to work together to build bases, gather food, and fend off attacks from hostile, intelligent AI enemies. Unlike regular zombies, the creatures in the forest adapt to your actions, study your behavior, and attack strategically. One moment, you might hear them in the trees, watching you. The next, they're launching a full-scale assault on your base. The survival mechanics are deep and realistic. You need to hunt animals, manage hunger, cook food, and maintain health, all while dealing with the constant threat of being hunted. Exploration is key. The deeper you go into the island's massive cave system, the more horrifying the creatures become. The game supports free movement and teleportation, making it accessible for all VR players. The Forest VR is available on PC VR, requiring a wired connection, but mod support allows for wireless gameplay on certain setups. With a 4.5/5 rating on Steam. Now, let's move on to Green Hell VR, a game that takes survival simulation to an entirely new level of realism. If the Forest VR was about horror survival, Green Hell VR is about true-to-life survival mechanics, where every decision matters and nature itself is your biggest enemy. You find yourself stranded deep in the Amazon rainforest, a place that is as breathtakingly beautiful as it is merciless. There are no zombies, no mutants, no supernatural enemies. Just you, the jungle, and the constant struggle to stay alive. The VR adaptation of this critically acclaimed survival game fully immerses you in the experience. Every action is done manually, crafting tools, building shelters, starting fires, and even treating wounds. You need to physically grab leaves, sticks, and stones to craft items. If you get injured, you have to wrap bandages around your wounds manually. If you drink dirty water, you can get sick. If you eat the wrong berries, you might suffer poisoning. The game has a full story mode, following a gripping narrative about a lost researcher trying to find his way back to civilization, uncovering the secrets of an ancient Amazonian tribe along the way. But the real challenge is survival. You must hunt, gather, craft, and adapt to the jungle's harsh conditions. The sanity system makes Green Hell VR even more intense. Shifting gears from the dense jungles of Green Hell VR, we now enter the vast, endless universe of No Man's Sky VR. This game is the ultimate space exploration experience, allowing players to travel across an infinite universe, visit alien worlds, build bases, and pilot spaceships, all in full VR. The standard version of No Man's Sky already offers one of the biggest open-world games ever created. But in VR, it becomes something entirely different. Instead of controlling a character on a screen, you are physically inside your spaceship, manually piloting it, pulling levers, engaging thrusters, and navigating through asteroid fields. The sense of scale is overwhelming as you launch from the surface of a planet, breaking through the atmosphere and into the vastness of space. No Man's Sky VR isn't just about flying. It's about exploring alien planets, gathering resources, and surviving in harsh extraterrestrial environments. Every planet is procedurally generated, meaning you'll never visit the same place twice. Some worlds are lush and filled with strange wildlife, while others are barren wastelands with deadly storms and extreme temperatures. The game allows full freedom. You can become a space explorer, a trader, a pirate, or even a base builder. Building bases in VR is an entirely new experience, as you place structures, construct walls, and create settlements with your own hands. The game offers single-player, cooperative multiplayer, and large-scale online play, allowing you to team up with friends to explore the galaxy, trade resources, and engage in space combat together. The multiplayer aspect makes the universe feel alive as you encounter other players and form alliances. VR controls allow you to use your hands to mine resources, operate tools. Next on our list is LA Noire, the VR Case Files, a detective thriller that puts you in the shoes of a hard-boiled investigator in 1940s Los Angeles, solving crimes in a fully immersive VR experience. Unlike action-packed shooters or survival games, this title focuses on observation, interrogation, and deduction, making you feel like a real detective navigating a city filled with secrets. The game is a VR adaptation of Rockstar's critically acclaimed LA Noire, but instead of playing from behind a screen, you step directly into the world, interacting with evidence, questioning suspects, and chasing down criminals in first person. One of the standout features of LA Noire VR is its motion-tracked interrogation system. As you investigate cases, you don't just read dialogue choices. You actually read people's faces to determine if they're lying or telling the truth. The game's advanced facial motion capture brings characters to life, making every suspect feel like a real person. Some shift uncomfortably under questioning. Others maintain eye contact with confidence, and it's up to you to decide if they're hiding something. This adds an incredible layer of realism, making each interrogation feel like a psychological battle. Beyond interrogations, the game features full hand interaction, allowing you to pick up and inspect objects, solve puzzles, and search crime scenes for hidden clues. Driving sequences are fully interactive, meaning you actually grip the wheel and steer as you chase criminals through the streets of Los Angeles. Shootouts are also intense, with realistic gun handling that forces you to take cover and aim carefully. The game includes 7 remastered cases from the original LA Noire, offering a mix of murder investigations. Now, let's shift from the crime-ridden streets of 1940s Los Angeles to the vast skies of Microsoft Flight Simulator VR, one of the most realistic flight simulations ever created. If you've ever dreamed of being a pilot, soaring through the clouds, and navigating the world in real time, this game is as close as you can get. The VR adaptation of Microsoft Flight Simulator takes everything that made the original game groundbreaking: real-world mapping, dynamic weather, and ultra-realistic physics, and puts you inside the cockpit, letting you experience flight like never before. The level of detail is astounding. When you put on a VR headset, you don't just see the cockpit. You're physically inside it with fully interactive controls that let you flick switches, adjust throttle, and monitor flight instruments just like a real pilot. Every knob, gauge, and lever works exactly as it does in a real aircraft. Takeoffs, landings, and mid-flight adjustments all require precision and focus, making it feel like you're actually flying a real plane. The world outside is just as immersive, with real-time weather updates, satellite map terrain, and thousands of airports, allowing you to fly anywhere on the planet. From the bright lights of New York to the deserts of the Middle East, every flight is a breathtaking experience. The game offers different aircraft, from small propeller planes to massive commercial airliners, each with unique handling. Next on our list is Elite Dangerous VR, the ultimate space simulation where you command your own spaceship in a 1:1 scale galaxy. If you've ever dreamed of flying across the stars, engaging in dogfights, and trading across a vast universe, this game delivers a fully immersive VR experience. Unlike traditional space games, Elite Dangerous VR puts you inside the cockpit, making every maneuver, hyperspace jump, and battle feel real. The sheer scale of this game is mind-blowing. You can explore billions of star systems, land on planets, trade valuable resources, and take on various roles like bounty hunter, trader, pirate, or explorer. The freedom is unmatched, and piloting your ship in VR feels completely natural. Looking around the cockpit, managing controls, and engaging in intense space battles with realistic flight physics creates an unparalleled experience. Combat in Elite Dangerous VR is intense, requiring precise movements, shield management, and strategic dogfighting. The game's multiplayer mode lets you team up with friends for co-op missions or engage in massive PvP space battles. For explorers, planetary landings offer alien landscapes, ancient ruins, and hidden mysteries. Available on PC VR with a wired connection, Elite Dangerous VR has a 4.6 out of 5 rating on Steam, making it the definitive VR space experience. Now, let's move to our final game, Minecraft VR, a title that needs no introduction. Minecraft has always been about creativity, survival, and exploration, but in VR, Minecraft VR keeps all the classic mechanics, but enhances them with motion controls and 360-degree immersion. You can swing your pickaxe manually, build with your hands, and aim bows physically, making combat and crafting more engaging than ever. Even simple tasks like farming, fishing, or cooking feel fresh in VR. The game offers multiple modes. Survival mode challenges you to gather resources, craft tools, and fend off monsters, while creative mode lets you freely construct massive castles, cities, and pixel art. The sense of scale is incredible. Exploring dark caves is scarier, seeing a fortress in full 3D is breathtaking, and fighting off zombies and creepers at night feels way more intense than in the original version. Minecraft VR also supports multiplayer, letting you join servers, build with friends, or explore massive community-made worlds. Whether you're surviving together, creating epic structures, or exploring endless landscapes, multiplayer in VR adds a whole new level of fun. The game is available on PC VR, MetaQuest, and PlayStation VR, offering both wired and wireless play depending on your system.